Hello everyone, let's look into an easy set based upon simple calculations. A manufacturing company produces a product which has 6-month demand cycle as given below. So this is the table. These are the months. Demands in units for each month has been given. Working days per month have also been given. Moving ahead, company's policy is to retain safety stock of 20% of monthly demand, and each month safety stock becomes the opening stock for the next month. And opening stock for January is 50 units. Each unit requires 10 labor hours and company works 8 hours per day. We have also been given that production requirement is equal to demand plus reserve minus opening stock. So this demand is nothing but the demand in units per month. Reserve is nothing but the safety stock that we are talking about here, which is 20% of the monthly demand, and opening stock for January is 50 units. We'll calculate it for the rest of the months. Now let us try to solve the questions. What is the opening stock for May? So that means we need to keep track of the opening stock for each month. Then second question is what is the production requirement for June? That means we also need to calculate the production requirement for each month. Then again in the third question we need the production requirement. Then in the fourth question we again need the opening stock. So let us try to make a table in which we can put the opening stock, the production requirement, the demand in units for every month. So when we design such a table, we get a table like this one, which has all the months included, opening stock for each month, demands in units for each month, then the reserve or the safety stock, then production requirement and working days for each month. Now the working days column and the demands column remains the same, so we'll fill the second table with the same data. Then we know that the reserve or the safety stock is nothing but the 20% of demand in units of every month. So 20% of 30 gives us 60, 20% of 500 gives us 100, then 20% of 40 gives us 80, 20% of 100 gives us 20, 20% of 200 gives us 40, and 20% of 300 gives us 60. We were given that opening stock for January is 50 units, and we were given that the safety stock for a month becomes the opening stock for the next month. So the safety stock of January will become the opening stock for February. So opening stock of February will be 60. Similarly, opening stock of March would be 100 from here. And the opening stock for April would be 80. Then the opening stock for May would be 20. And at last opening stock for June would be 40. Now since we have the demands, the reserve or the safety stock and opening stock for each month with us, we can simply calculate the production requirement using the formula given. So production requirement for January would be 300 plus 60 minus 50, which gives us 310. Then for February it would be 540. For March it would be 400 plus 80 minus 100, which gives us 380. For April it would be 100 plus 20 minus 80, which gives us 40. For May it would be 220, and at last for June it would be 320. Now we have the complete information for every month with us. So let us solve the first question. What is the opening stock for June? So from the table, opening stock for June is 40 units very clearly. So the answer to the first question would be 40. Then the next question is what is the production requirement for March? So from the table it is clearly 380. Hence production requirement for March will be 380. Then the third question is in which month production requirement is the highest? So production requirement is the highest for this month, which is February. So February will be the answer for question 3. Then the fourth question is in which month opening stock is the lowest? So opening stock is the lowest in May, which is 20 units. So the correct answer will be May. Now the next question is if constant workforce of 20 is retained, how many hours workers sit idle in January? So that means we need to calculate the hours for which workers sit idle in January if there are 20 laborers. Now in January, we can clearly see that we need to produce 310 units and every unit requires 10 labor hours. So 310 units will require 3100 man hours of work. This is the work that has to be done in January to produce 310 units. Now if we employ 20 laborers in January month, they will have to work for 22 days because there are 22 working days in January month. So all will work for 22 days, and for each day the company works for 8 hours. That means each labor will work for 8 hours, which gives us 3520 man hours of work. So this much of work can be done. That means this is available work, and out of this we have only utilized this much work because we only have to produce 310 units and each requires 10 labor hours, which means that we have extra man hours of 3520 minus 3100. That means 420 man hours are extra. So 420 man hours are extra, and a workforce of 20 laborers was given to us. That means the idle time would be total work upon laborers that were employed. So it will be 21 hours. That means for 21 hours the workers sit idle in January. Then the next question is, if constant workforce of 20 is retained, how many total hours workers do overtime in February? Now in February we have to produce 540 units, which is given here. So the total work required would be 540 units into each unit requires 10 labor hours. So total work that has to be done will be 5400 man hours. And we have been given that a constant workforce of 20 is retained. That means there are 20 laborers who will be working, and they will be working for 20 days in February because we have been given that in the table. So they will be working for 20 days, and each day there will be 8 hours of working. So total work that is available will be 3200 man hours. So this much work has to be done, 5400 man hours, 3200 man hours of work is available. So that means the remaining work would be 5400 minus 3200, which gives us 2200 man hours or units we can say. So 2200 man hours of work has to be done, and we have a constant workforce of 20. So number of hours, the number of hours for which 20 workers will do overtime will be 2200 upon 20, which gives us 110 hours. So the correct answer for this question will be 110 hours. I hope you understood this. If you have any doubt, you can comment below. Thank you.